JCMN Network.
I don't know why I'm doing that. The mic is connected to the camera, so it should be in sync automatically. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Nico here, and this is Nico Rambles. The thing I want to talk about is WrestleMania. I don't know what that was. Was that good enough? What's the WrestleMania? If you're not a wrestling fan, if you're not a wrestling, I feel like every time I say wrestling, I realize where I'm from. If you're not a wrestling fan, basically it's the Super Bowl of wrestling. That happened on Sunday. We had some very interesting, I backed myself up into a corner. Very interesting WrestleMania Sunday. I don't want to go through the details because I'm pretty sure at this point, I'm recording this on Tuesday. So I'm pretty sure at this point you've heard every opinion. But my opinion of WrestleMania was overall good. I was going to say decent, but I feel like decent's not the right word. I liked it. I mean, at the beginning, it was pretty good. And then towards the end, I think once AJ Styles and Nakamura went against each other, it was kind of like, this is not exactly what I thought was going to happen. But I know with the AJ Styles and Nakamura, like those two, I kind of understand why that fell a little flat. Because there was no real story behind those two. It was just more of a dream match. That's kind of an example on how a dream match could be, I guess, lack of a better word, tainted. Because there's no story behind it. It was just like two great superstars up against each other for the belt, and it's like, but there's no storyline. And Nakamura, spoiler alerts if you didn't see WrestleMania, but spoilers, giving you time. Spoilers. Nakamura kind of went heel. I say kinda. Nakamura went heel. He's heel, and it fits. I just wonder how they're going to do this. Like, how they're going to present Nakamura as a heel. I guess two of the main matches that a lot of people was really talking about was Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Overall, a great match. I just thought it was funny to watch Kurt Angle and Triple H go against each other because you realize Kurt's abilities in the ring, it's a little slow. And you see Triple H kind of looking like he got it, but I guess compared to Kurt, it just looks like he's not up to par. But overall, that match was great. Ronda looked like she was in her element. It looked more real. It looked like this is her thing. This is where she thrives kind of thing. Because every other promo was cringy. Because I realized she's not really there. And that's fine. But overall, it was a great match. So I guess hopefully it doesn't go downhill because it's going to be kind of interesting to put her up against other superstars. And I'm pretty sure they're going to put her up against a lot of heels. So that's will solidify it. I also wonder how they're going to like keep her going to make her like how to make her interesting. I just wonder where they're going to take her. That's it. Then the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Ever since WrestleMania last year, everyone has predicted that Roman Reigns is going to win at WrestleMania. They're going to take this. Brock is going to have the belt all the way to WrestleMania. And then Roman's going to win and Brock's going to UFC. As soon as I heard that, I knew that WWE was going to be like, no, y'all are not going to predict our show. And they said, get it. Roman Reigns is going to lose. He's going to fight. But he's going to lose. I mean, part of me saw that coming. But also I wanted to be wrong about that. Because Roman's there. And I don't watch WWE that often. But when every time you tune in, Brock Lesnar's still the champion, it's like, dang, like, this is just too much. Overall, that match was pretty good. It showed Roman being tough and all that. But yeah, that was wait, my bad. Now that was WrestleMania. In other news, Legion finally gave us a season 2. Solid episode. It was pretty good. Very confusing. I mean, the thing is about that show, it's so crazy as far as like the narrative and what we're pushing, and it's not just clear as day. And that's why I like the show, because I'm constantly trying to figure out what's going on. And the concept of the show is so good. It's nice to see like where they're going to take this. Legion is kind of like on the level of Black Mirror. Like it has that same, except it's not really technology based. It's just a more that trippy kind of thing where it's like, it keeps you thinking. Well, it kept me thinking. So I guess that's probably the point I'm trying to make. No.
I just made you draw 2 more.
Oh, my bad.
Uno.
Ah! Dang.
I'm walking out the door.
Okay.
Huh?
I said O and then the letter K.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. Okay.
My cousin sent me a kids show bracket. It says millennial kids show bracket, but I'm gonna ignore that part. He sent me a bracket that has a lot of cartoons from Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and then other shows other networks like Fox Kids WB and 4Kids TV and Toonami and all that. Even though I feel like Toonami is part of Cartoon Network, but I'm gonna ignore that. For the Nickelodeon bracket, the only thing is they already had 2 of my favorite shows going against each other in the first round. I'm just going to move Rocket Power and switch it out with Chalk Zone. No, my bad. That's not. No, I like Chalk Zone. Let's switch Chalk Zone and the Amanda Show. Now we got Amanda Show versus SpongeBob, and let's switch Let's switch Amanda Show with Rocket Power. So then it'd be just Rocket Power versus SpongeBob. So we got Dragon Ball Z versus Ed, Edd n Eddy. And then on the other side, we got Rugrats versus Recess. Woo! Alright, let me do the Cartoon Network and the others this side, because the Nickelodeon one I got to think about. So we got Ed, Edd n Eddy versus Dragon Ball Z. As far as I'm out of enjoyment for a show, and I can still watch to this day. I can watch both of them to this day, actually. Most memorable is gotta be Ed, Edd n Eddy. Most impact in my life and more inspiration, I guess, would be Dragon Ball Z. Then Super kind of rehashed it. So I'm gonna have to pick Ed, Edd n Eddy. Ed, Edd n Eddy going to the finals. That's just a hard pick, but Ed, Edd n Eddy has a lot more impact on what I actually like to watch growing up. So yeah. Then for Nickelodeon versus Disney, we got Rugrats versus Recess. And these 2 are hard because I loved Recess and I loved Rugrats. I still do. Still do love Rugrats. So, but if I had to pick between the 2, as far as shows I can watch forever, it would have to be Rugrats. So Rugrats versus Ed, Edd n Eddy. These two shows are just great. They're just 2 great shows. Got Rugrats that just all this adventure and this imagination, and movies such an impact. Wasn't a big fan of the Paris one, but yet it happened. Actually, no, I was probably more fan of the Paris one than I was with the Wild Thornberry one. And the Rugrats and the Wild Thornberry was kind of interesting collab. Didn't care for Wild Thorn very much. That's probably why. But between those two, Ed and Eddie, same thing though. Adventures, creativity, all the stuff that they make. Even though a lot of times it was a hustle and a lie, but it was just fun to watch. But once again, if I had to pick, get real bright in here. If I had to pick, god damn, this is way too bright. Rugrats or Ed and Eddie. It's gotta be Rugrats. Rugrats is the way to go. Rugrats is the winner of Nico's bracket. Nico's kid show bracket. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. What you know about that? Look at your voice. Replay. This is so stupid.